What's good, everybody? Welcome back to another video. So today I'm going to be talking about the golden ratio and its importance in balance, nature, history, music, yes, music, and more. So now the golden ratio is a very deep topic and there's a lot to learn from it. So we have a lot to unpack. Let's get right into it. Now, what is the golden ratio? The golden ratio, also known as phi, is a mathematical ratio of 1 to 1.618 with a decimal that stretches all the way to infinity and is closely linked with the Fibonacci sequence. Many artists and the designers throughout historical times have used the golden ratio for creating balance, order, and symmetry. The golden ratio is typically demonstrated with a spiral that can be found in nature and has been used by many popular artists. The spiral is stretched between 9 boxes and gradually keeps on getting larger. Now over here, these are some more visual representations of the spiral and its proportions. What is the origin of the golden ratio? The use of the golden ratio can be traced all the way back to ancient Egyptian and Greek times. It is believed that it was used in the design of the Great Pyramids because the ratio of the slant height to half the base dimension is 1.618, which is the golden ratio. It was first used in Greek architecture with the creation of the Parthenon, which is this building, which was a former temple dedicated to the goddess Athena. Now, the origin of the golden ratio continued. The golden ratio was first studied by Euclid and Pythagoras, who were two ancient Greek mathematicians. Euclid eventually wrote a book named Elements, where he defines the golden ratio. A straight line is said to have been cut in extreme and mean ratio when, as the whole line is to the greater segment, so is the greater to the lesser. Or in easier terms, is when a line is divided in a way where the ratio of the whole segment to the larger part is the same as the ratio of the larger part to the smaller part. Then the division is in the golden ratio. Pythagoras studied the ratio's importance in music, art, and nature, and he considered it a representation of divine proportion and aesthetic perfection. Now Euclid, who is to the left here, he was born around 300 BC, and he died in Alexandria in 265 BC. This was 2,288 years ago. Pythagoras was born about 570 BCE in the island of Samos. He died in Mesopotamia, which is modern-day Italy, about 500 to 490 BCE. Pythagoras was born about 235 years earlier than Euclid was. Now here is a visual and mathematical explanation of the ratio. Now, phi is equal to a over b, which is a plus b over a. Now in this equation, you use Fibonacci numbers. For example, 34 divided by 21 is equal to 1.6, and 34 plus 21 divided by 34 is equal to 1.6. Now, as you get larger and the numbers increase, you get closer and closer and closer to the golden ratio, which is 1.618. And here's the visual, I think, that really shows the spiral and its formation well. So let's watch it. Okay, so that visual, I think it demonstrates really well the formation of the spiral. As you can see, when you add 1 plus 1, you get 2 over here. And when you add 2 and 1, you get 3, and 3 and 2, you get 5. And that's how the spiral keeps on going along. So why is the golden ratio so special? The golden ratio is a guiding principle to help you understand the limits of human attention so you can create something aesthetically pleasing. It can be used as a basis in the design to make it look more even, balanced, and aesthetically pleasing. It perfectly balances addition and multiplication, and it can be found in the proportions of the human body. It has a strong occurrence in nature, and many people believe that it embodies a fundamental principle of beauty and harmony. If you go outside and count the number of petals on a flower, the number is most likely a Fibonacci number. So over here in this picture, you can see this flower. It has 8 petals. 8 is a Fibonacci number. And over here, here's a plant. It has 13 leaves, and 13 is a Fibonacci number as well. You could try this out yourself. You can go outside and find a plant or a flower, and you can count the amount of petals on it. And I bet you 99.9% sure that number is a Fibonacci number. Now here's some more natural occurrences of the golden ratio. It can be found in plants, it can be found in shells, the universe, the nature, and all the above. So the Fibonacci sequence. Now that we know what phi or the golden ratio is, it's time to learn about the Fibonacci sequence. It can be explained easily. It's a series of numbers where each number is the sum of the 2 preceding numbers. For example, 0, 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 13, 21, 34, and so on. This is very closely related because when you divide Fibonacci numbers by each other, for example, 5, 3, 21, 13, 34, 21, the larger you get, the more it reaches the golden ratio, which is 1.618, which is shown right here. Now, famous artists and artworks that use the golden ratio. The golden ratio can be found in the proportions of the Last Supper, which is created by Leonardo da Vinci in 1498. We found in The Birth of Venus by Botticelli. It can be found in The Starry Night by Vincent van Gogh with the clouds in the background with the spiral formation. We found Off the Great Wave off Kanagawa by Hokusaki in 1831. With the formation of this wave. All of these are very popular pieces of artwork, and there are many more that use the golden ratio in them. Now, music and the golden ratio. Music theorists have claimed to find the golden ratio in many works of famous classical composers such as Mozart and Debussy. Many musicians use it with the timing of where they put the climax of their piece so that the piece flows more naturally, and I'll let this guy explain it because he did it pretty well.
Bartók isn't the only composer to have a phi moment. Finding one is simple. Take the length of a song and then multiply it by 0.618, the inverse of phi. For example, take Under Pressure by Queen and David Bowie. We have a total of 246 seconds times 0.618, which equals 152 seconds. Now listen to what happens at that exact moment. If you look hard enough, you'll start finding it everywhere. Check out Drake's In My Feelings. But were all these musicians writing songs with calculators by their side? I doubt it. Some say we find these golden moments because humans are just hardwired to find order in the world.
Now here's another clip of the same video with this girl. She created a song using the Fibonacci sequence, and it's pretty good, so let's watch it.
I did write a piece using certain elements of the golden proportions and the Fibonacci numbers. Should I play it for you? It's really fresh, but okay.
Oh, you gonna play it live? Oh, let's get it. Oh, I don't hear this, yes.
So what I did was I just came up with a little motive, and then I fleshed it out until I felt like it could go somewhere. Something can change. Then I knew, okay, this is the golden section, and depending on the rules of the golden proportions, I know exactly how much time is required until the end. Okay, I'll stop right there. So obviously here, it changes, right? So I try to make it as obvious as possible. But that is at the point where 216th notes have passed. And the whole piece has 324 16th notes.
Okay.
So that point at 200
what if the
is
thing comes in,
the golden section, or the phi moment.
Okay.
And this pattern, I use the Fibonacci numbers. So this has 5 16th notes, and then it goes to 8 16th notes, and then it goes to 13 16th notes, and then it goes back down.
Okay, so that is music and the golden ratio. You could clearly see how the golden ratio has a part in music. So now let's go on to architecture and the golden ratio. Architects use the golden ratio to create proportions in their work to make it more look aesthetically pleasing in the designs. The ratio is often applied to determining height to width ratios of facades, room dimensions, and the proportions of windows to doors. In Greek architecture, specifically, the ratio was employed extensively, which is shown in temples, stadiums, theaters, and the Parthenon, which is this building right here. And you can also see it in some houses with the proportions of the windows and the doors and all of the above. Some more modern interpretations. In our modern day, the ratio still influences various fields beyond traditional architecture. Graphic designers use the golden ratio to their advantage when creating layouts for websites, posters, and other visual medias. The ratio can be found everywhere in the proportions of smartphones, furniture, automobiles, and more. Even fashion designers can benefit from the use of it and its ability to create harmonious designs across a wide range of disciplines and applications. Now back to art. Leonardo da Vinci is widely appreciated because of his innovations in the world of art. He was part of a large movement where artists and scholars began to explore the correspondence between math, science, and art. In his artwork, like the Vitruvian Man, which is right here, he explored the relationship between the human body and geometric forms, illustrating the concept of the ideal proportions based on Vitruvius's writings and the classical ideas of harmony. Cultural significance. The golden ratio was associated with the idea of perfect beauty in ancient Greece. It was used by renowned Greek architects such as Phidias in the designs of temples and sculptures. Now over here you can find its proportions in the Taj Mahal and some more temples right here. So the Parthenon, Indian temples, and cathedrals. Not only Parthenon, but also Indian temples have unique relationship with the ratio. According to these, Egyptians and Greeks, which were represented ancient high civilizations, used some kind of proportion like the golden ratio in their structure designs. In addition to this, the cathedrals were used golden ratio when they were designed like other examples. Now you can find the proportions of these buildings right here. Nature and biology. The golden ratio governs the human body and all of its components. If your body did not adhere to golden proportions, it would appear formless. One area of the human body that demonstrates this is the navel. Your navel is positioned such that the ratio of the short half to the long half equals the golden ratio. The same goes with the forearm to hand ratio. The ratio can be found in DNA sequences as well. DNA molecules measure 34 angstroms long by 21 angstroms wide for each full cycle of its double helix spiral. 34 and 21 are both Fibonacci numbers, and when you divide them by each other, you get 1.618. Now, technological applications. In recent years, there has been exploration into whether the golden ratio might have relevance in optimizing certain aspects of AI, particularly in terms of architectural design and training optimization. Using the golden ratio will lead to more elegant and effective AI solutions. Achieving the golden ratio of AI requires both technical expertise and a deep understanding of human needs and preferences. Future trends and innovations. Businesses can create strategies that blend past knowledge and discoveries with the future, balance innovation with execution, and manage risk effectively with this information. The golden ratio has stood the test of time and is something that many people should learn about its significance, whether you're an artist or not. So now that is everything I have today for the golden ratio. I hope you guys enjoyed and you guys could learn something from it. And I'll see you all in the next video.